Now let's talk about a technique that the tester uses to test the user story that is written. This technique is called INVEST technique. INVEST, the I for independent, the N for negotiable, the V for valuable, E for estimatable, S for simple, and T for testable. So these are 6 aspects that need to be covered in our user story. The first is independency, which means that our user story can be written outside of other user stories and still be meaningful. What does this mean? If I read the user story independently, I can understand it. I don't need another user story to explain my user story. The second thing is negotiable, which means that the user story should be general enough so that the development team and the client can work around and may change the way of implementing this user story. So you should not focus on technical details while you are writing your user story. You should only focus on your requirements and remember that these requirements might change. The third thing is V for valuable, which means that your user story should bring value to the client. Then estimatable, which means that the user story can be estimated. We can estimate how much time it will need in order to be complete. S for small or simple, which means that the user story is small enough so that it can be developed in a short time period. It does not need more than one iteration or sprint to be implemented. If the user story is very big, we call it an epic, and each epic needs to be divided into smaller user stories, which are each one of them is small enough to be done in a single iteration. The last thing is testable, which means that our user story can be tested, which means also that we can write acceptance criteria of it, and when the acceptance criteria is complete, that means that our user story is done. This is an example of an epic user story. As a customer, I want to pay for my bill so I can settle what I owe quickly. This user story is big. It is not small and it is not estimatable. Okay, we can't give estimate on it because it is big. So we can break this epic into 3 small user stories. For example, as a customer, I want to be able to see a bill with all of the items in the order of it so I can see how much my order will cost. The second one, as a customer, I want to be able to select a pay now option when I view my bill so I can pay the bill immediately. The third is, as a customer, I want to be able to enter my payment details for Visa and MasterCard credit cards so I can pay using a convenient method. Each one of them is part of the big epic that is at the top, and each one of them satisfies the invest technique. It is independent, it is negotiable, it is valuable, estimatable, simple, and testable.